All right, Brent Porcio, TopVelocity.net. I'm going to talk about the glove and back hip relationship, or glove side, back side relationship. So just think glove and back hip. These two have a very strong relationship with each other, and I want you to understand that relationship, because understanding that relationship is going to help you keep your delivery very clean and efficient, and ultimately, if you can put power through it, you're going to get two things. You're going to get more velocity, and you are going to get a healthier arm. So here's the relationship. To understand the relationship, you have to understand really the foundation of throwing. When we start throwing, we start in a closed position. This is a closed position. This is an open position of the target. And the goal really is to rotate the shoulder around to expose the arm to the target so you can throw the ball to the target. So to simply go into rotation, there's two ways you can go into rotation. One way is going to be pulling your glove across your body. That's going to bring your shoulder around to expose your arm and throw the ball. The only issue is you're pulling energy that way, right? When you pull that glove side. The other way of rotating the shoulders is the back hip or back side. You're going to drive the back hip through and around into rotation. That back hip connects to that back shoulder. That's going to pull that back shoulder around and expose that arm to make the throw. The positive there is your energy is going that way, which is what we want. So obviously the better of the two is going to be the lower half driving the movement, because that is going to be driving more energy in a linear direction. So the relationship is, you'll see how this works, it's how really the kinetic chain works. Is if I fail downstream or down the kinetic chain, I'm going to overcompensate up the chain or up the stream. So for example, if I separate my hands, my shoulders are already closed, I'm moving down the mound. If I quickly collapse this hip or give up on this hip and I'm already transferring my weight, then it's not going to do the job of driving the open and driving the shoulder around, and then my glove side's going to want to take over, because if not, you're not going to throw, you're not going to do this, right? So that's when, once you give up on that hip, your glove side's going to pull and your energy's going to go that way, and your trunk's not going to want to go forward. It's just going to want to spin. And studies show those who create more forward trunk tilt during maximum external rotation typically throw harder and throw healthier. So the earlier you go rotational, the shorter you're going to create your trunk path, and then you're going to have to accelerate quicker to throw harder, which is going to be more torque and more stress on your arm. So the moment you feel this glove pulling, the answer is not, don't do that or stay closed. It's doing that because it's overcompensating for a failing back side, back hip. So if you stay engaged and you power and ride that back hip and deliver and drive open that back hip with enough force to carry the back shoulder and the trunk through and over your front side, you're going to get a more efficient, more effective delivery, and you're going to avoid having an early pulling glove side. So just watch that. It's a good diagnostic tool. If you feel your glove pulling early, it's because you're giving up on your hip early. You could be pulling your glove early because you want to throw early, but still that's giving up on your lower half. You have to gauge your lower half, power your lower half as long as you can, and just before you land, you deliver your hip, so then you can transfer all that energy up your trunk, and your glove side doesn't become a big generator in the movement, which is always going to fail you. It's better than nothing, but it's never going to give you the ultimate result, because it's going to spin you that way, cutting off your forward trunk tilt. So that's the relationship between the back hip and the glove side. It's very important to understand that. There's no other way in my book to understand that. And once you understand that, it's no longer about trying to fight to stay closed or not pull your glove hard. It's a focus on why that's happening, and the source is your back hip and your back side creating all the power and leading and driving rotation, and then allowing the trunk to be carried into that rotation and finishing the delivery, and with the trunk more over your front side. So if you have any questions on that, please post your questions, and we'll see you next time.